Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at American Gods by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, yeah,
It's a wild ride.
it really is.
It's not just fantasy and all this mythology and all that stuff. It really digs into the idea of belief,
Yes.
like the raw power of belief
Hmm.
and how it shapes our world.
Right.
And you know what I thought was really interesting is that in Gaiman's world, the gods aren't these like untouchable, all-powerful beings. They're
Yeah.
not sitting up on clouds, looking down on us.
Right.
They're sustained by belief itself.
Right.
So they can fade or thrive depending on how much people actually believe in them.
Yeah. It's such a fascinating take on mythology.
Right.
You've got all these old gods like Odin, who was once worshipped by Vikings.
Right.
And they're now practically forgotten.
Forgotten.
Like
And-
walking among us, weakened, almost like echoes of their former selves.
Yeah. Like Odin is hustling as Mr. Wednesday,
Yeah.
this con man who's just trying to scrape by.
Right.
It's kind of a funny image, right? A once mighty god reduced to like a small-time grifter.
Totally.
But it really drives home that point that even gods aren't immune to how belief ebbs and flows.
Exactly. And it's not just Odin, either. Chernobog, the Slavic god of darkness,
Right.
once so powerful and fearsome,
Right.
he's now living in squalor.
Oh.
Just a shadow of his former self.
Wow.
It seems like Gaiman's suggesting that belief is an active process.
It's not passive.
Yeah, not a one-time deal.
Yeah.
You can't just believe once and call it a day.
Right.
You have to feed that belief
Yeah.
with rituals, stories, devotion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, even the most powerful gods start to fade.
Right. So it's like a constant energy exchange. You got to keep it going.
Yeah, you got it.
But, while these old gods are struggling, there's a new breed rising up, right?
Yes.
Born from our modern obsessions.
Yeah, the new gods, media technology, the corporate world,
Oh.
they just thrive on us.
On our attention.
Our constant engagement with screens, algorithms.
Social media. It's like the battle for belief has moved to a whole new playing field.
Yeah.
It's not temples and altars anymore. It's our phones.
Yeah.
Our laptops.
Totally.
And leading the charge for these new gods is this figure, Mr. World. He's kind of like the ultimate corporate overlord.
Mr. World.
Yeah.
Yeah, he embodies globalization, that relentless pursuit of power, and the desire to just erase the old ways completely.
Wipe him out.
Yeah, he's cunning, ruthless, and really represents those systems that we often feel trapped in.
Right.
But here's what really struck me.
Okay.
Gaiman makes it clear that both the old and new gods are vulnerable.
Vulnerable. How so?
Their power depends entirely on human belief.
So if enough people just turn away, stop feeding that belief,
Yeah.
even the seemingly most powerful gods become irrelevant.
That's the idea.
Wow. That's a powerful thought. It makes me think about all sorts of systems in our own world. Political ideologies, social movements, economic structures.
All of them.
They all rely on collective belief to function.
Like a constant tug of war for our attention, our faith, our commitment.
It's exhausting.
It is.
And trying to navigate this battlefield is Shadow Moon, our protagonist.
Right.
He's this average guy grieving the loss of his wife and suddenly gets pulled into this crazy world of gods and monsters.
Yeah. I mean, talk about bad timing.
Seriously. So Shadow's journey isn't just about meeting these gods.
No.
It's about discovering a power within
A
himself,
power tied to belief.
but also to something deeper. As he travels with Mr. Wednesday, he starts having these strange encounters, vivid dreams, glimpses into a hidden world.
Right.
It's like he's being called to awaken to something bigger than himself.
What's so fascinating about Shadow is that he starts as a skeptic.
He doesn't buy it.
No, he's not quick to believe, which makes his journey even more compelling. He's forced to confront the reality-shaping power of belief.
Yeah.
Not just through witnessing the gods, but through his own experiences.
Right.
And in that process, he begins to uncover his own unique place in this cosmic battle.
One thing I loved about American Gods is how Gaiman uses storytelling as this vital force.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not enough to just passively believe.
Right.
You have to actively engage with the stories, retell them, keep them alive.
Keep him going.
In a way, the stories themselves become a form of belief.
Totally. He weaves in these incredible interludes that tell the origin stories of various gods from all these different cultures.
I love that.
African trickster gods, Irish folklore.
It's amazing.
And these stories aren't just entertaining.
No.
They're vital to the god's survival.
Right.
Each tale reinforces their identity, their place in the world. It's like
Yeah.
a direct link between cultural memory and the power of belief.
It makes you wonder what stories are shaping our world today, right?
It really does.
Whose voices are being heard and whose are being silenced.
Hmm.
It's what makes American Gods so much more than just a fantasy novel. It's a
Yeah.
reflection on belief power and the stories that shape our understanding of the world.
Exactly. And as we delve deeper into Shadow's journey, we'll see how these themes play out in his own life and the choices he's forced to make.
Okay.
He's not just observing this conflict between gods.
Right.
He's becoming a participant.
Mm-hmm.
And his beliefs, his choices, will have a profound impact on the outcome.
All right. So we're going to get into all that. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
We left off with Shadow, our kind of skeptical everyman, getting pulled deeper into this world of gods and their struggles.
Right.
It's almost like he's being drawn toward his destiny.
Yes. And remember, he's traveling with Mr. Wednesday,
Right.
who we know is Odin in disguise.
Right.
And along the way, Shadow encounters all these characters and experiences that chip away at his skepticism. Vivid dreams, strange encounters, glimpses into this hidden world.
Yeah.
It's all pushing him toward a truth that he just can't ignore.
And that truth is a big one.
It is.
He discovers that Mr. Wednesday,
Yeah.
this con man he's been traveling with,
Right.
is actually his father.
Talk about a family reunion.
But it's so much more than just a simple "who's your daddy" plot twist.
Right.
It reframes everything.
Yeah.
Shadow, the average Joe, is actually the son of a god,
Wow.
a descendant of Odin.
That's heavy.
It ties him directly to the conflict, to this ancient lineage,
Right.
and forces him to really confront what he believes and what side he might be on.
It made me think about how much of our identity is shaped by the stories we inherit,
Oh, yeah.
the beliefs we're raised with,
Oh.
and what happens when those stories are challenged, when we discover hidden truths about ourselves.
Yeah,
That's where Shadow's journey gets really interesting.
it does.
You know, he could easily just embrace his lineage, join his father's fight,
Right.
but he doesn't.
He hesitates.
Yeah, he questions it. He wrestles with it.
That's what makes him such a relatable character, I
I
think.
agree.
He's not just passively accepting this destiny that's been revealed to him.
Right.
He's actively engaging with it, making choices that will have a profound impact on the outcome of this whole divine power struggle.
And those choices, his beliefs, become even more crucial when you consider that Gaiman has set up this world where belief shapes reality.
Right.
It's not just influencing the gods.
Yeah.
It's woven into the fabric of existence.
It's powerful.
So Shadow's not just figuring out his own identity.
Right.
He's potentially shaping the world around him.
That's a powerful concept, isn't it?
It really is. It makes you consider the weight of your own beliefs, your own choices.
Yeah.
Are we just passive observers in this world? Or do we have the power to shape it even in small ways?
Good question.
It's a lot of pressure for one guy, especially a guy who started out just wanting to grieve his wife in peace.
Yeah, no kidding.
But there's another layer to Shadow's story, to this whole conflict between the gods that we haven't really touched on yet.
Okay.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice is a powerful expression of belief, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
It's about giving something up, enduring hardship for something you believe is greater than yourself.
Right.
And we see this throughout American gods.
Yeah.
The old gods are sacrificing their comfort, their former glory, to try and reclaim their power,
Right.
clinging to their identities even when the world seems to have moved on.
Yeah. And then there's Shadow.
Yeah.
He's constantly being asked to make sacrifices.
Uh-huh.
His loyalty, his love, even his sense of self are all tested.
Right.
It's like through these acts of sacrifice, both the gods and Shadow are demonstrating the depth of their belief, their commitment to what they hold dear.
And that's where the true power might lie, wouldn't you say?
Rare.
Not just in declaring your belief,
Yeah.
but in backing it up with action, with a willingness to sacrifice.
Right. Putting your beliefs on the line.
Exactly.
Even when it's difficult, even when it's painful.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what sacrifices we're willing to make for what we believe in.
It's a challenging question.
It is.
Are we just talking about grand, heroic gestures?
Hmm.
Or are there everyday sacrifices we make, choices that reflect our beliefs?
Right.
What about the values we uphold, the stories we choose to tell, the ways we interact with the world?
Are those acts of sacrifice too?
I think they can be.
Yeah.
In American Gods, Gaiman seems to be suggesting that belief is an active, ongoing process.
Right.
It's about making choices big and small that reflect what we value, what we hold sacred, what we believe in.
It's not just about the gods.
No.
It's about us.
It's about humanity and the power we have to shape our lives and the world around us.
So as we head into the final part of this deep dive,
Okay.
let's keep that in mind.
All right.
Shadow's journey, this clash of gods,
Yeah.
it's all a reflection of something much bigger, something we're all a part of.
Right.
The ongoing struggle between belief and power, the choices we make and the sacrifices we're willing to bear. So we've been unpacking some pretty heavy concepts,
Yeah.
Belief is power, sacrifice is commitment,
Right.
how those things shape not just the gods, but us too.
Totally.
And now we're heading toward the climax of American Gods where all these threads come together.
Yeah, the tension has been building throughout the book.
And it all comes to a head in this seemingly quiet town called Lakeside.
Oh, yeah, Lakeside.
Shadow ends up there.
Right.
And it's almost like Lakeside is this microcosm of the larger conflict.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, what's so special about Lakeside?
Right.
It feels so peaceful, almost removed from the chaos of the God War.
Yeah, but there's something potent beneath the surface.
Right.
Lakeside is a place where belief is woven into the fabric of everyday life.
Okay.
You see how it shapes people's hopes, their fears, their sense of belonging?
Right.
It's a reminder that belief isn't just about grand gestures or cosmic battles.
Right.
It's about the small, quiet ways that we make meaning in our lives.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
So while Shadow is trying to figure out his own place in all of this, the conflict between the old gods and the new gods is about to boil over.
The old gods, led by Odin, launch their attack.
Oh, wow.
And the new gods, with Mr. World at the helm, are ready to defend their dominance.
So it's all...
It's this clash of titans.
Right.
Ancient mythology versus modern technology.
Right.
But it's also a battle for hearts and minds.
Because ultimately, it's not just about brute force.
No.
It's about whose stories resonate, whose values people choose to embrace.
It's the power of belief once again taking center stage.
Okay, so no spoilers, but
Yeah.
what kind of resolution does Gaiman offer? Like, how does it all shake out?
Gaiman doesn't give us a clean-cut ending.
Oh, really?
There isn't a clear winner or loser,
Okay.
which I think is deliberate. He's suggesting that this struggle between belief and power is ongoing,
Right.
evolving.
Yeah.
It's not a battle that can be won once and for all.
That's interesting. It's a very different approach from that classic good versus evil showdown
Yeah.
that we see in a lot of fantasy.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels more true to life,
it does.
that sense of ambiguity.
Yeah,
The idea that the struggle continues even after the story ends.
exactly. And it leaves us with a lot to think about.
Like what?
What does it mean to believe in something? What are we willing to sacrifice for those beliefs?
Yeah.
What stories will shape the future?
Big questions.
It's a call to be conscious of the choices we make, the stories we tell, and how those things shape the world around us.
Wow. That's powerful. It really resonated with me long after I finished the book.
Me too.
It made me question, it made me think, it made me look at my own beliefs and choices in a different light.
I think that's the mark of a truly great book.
It is.
Stays with you, challenges you, and ultimately empowers you to shape your own narrative.
Yeah. American Gods is a reminder that even in a world seemingly dominated by powerful forces, we still have the power to choose.
The power to believe, the power to tell our stories, the power to shape our own reality.
Even if it's just one small corner of it.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you for taking this deep dive into American Gods with us.
Of course.
It's been an incredible journey.
Absolutely. May your beliefs guide you, your stories inspire you, and your choices shape a world that reflects the values you hold dear.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and keep